More than 10 Asheville police officers move in to destroy a medic station, puncturing water bottles with knives. It happened minutes after the 8 p.m. curfew went into effect last night. And tonight, the chief is responding. News 13's Kimberly King joins us live from outside the Asheville Police Department.
Tammy, witnesses told us that police were aggressive with them last night, pushing some of them up against a wall. Now, this is what Chief Zach is his responses tonight. As the chief, I understand that the concern was raised over the destruction of water and medical supplies. APD would prefer confiscation, not destruction. We apologize for not being able to confiscate them. Over the past 3 days, APD has tried to eliminate objects that can be thrown at protesters and police. Because the bottles in particular have been continuously used over the past 3 nights, they were destroyed. Officers also searched, he said, for potentially dangerous objects such as explosives.
So they came in around 8:05.
This is video of what appear to be hundreds of water bottles strewn across the street on Patton Avenue. Bottles meant for demonstrators, including anyone tear-gassed. APD officers doing this.
They were stabbing water bottles with knives. They completely destroyed everything.
I was pushed up against the wall and then shoved into the street.
A second video shows how officers ransacked supplies like bandages and isopropyl alcohol. Videos circulating on social media show more than 10 officers armed in riot gear that tore up the stand.
Did not have much reaction time between being told that the police were headed our way.
We're all trying to heal a community.
Sean Miller, Greenleaf, Clark, Prentice, and Gillian Maurer manned the medic station.
We were told by APD that we were okay past curfew if we were providing medical supplies and if we stayed in that area. So people did not actively believe they were breaking the law.
The mayor stating she was aware of the incident. Officers destroying medical supplies of demonstrators, saying council has asked for an explanation. This, she said, was a disappointing moment in an otherwise peaceful evening.
My message to police is that in situations like this, participating in destruction of property and violence is never going to end protest or destruction of property and violence. And I would ask for a compassionate tone.
So back out here live in the last 30 minutes, this is what is developing here at Spruce Street and Court Plaza. We can see there are now National Guard here. They do have shields and they are obviously equipped for an evening. They are anticipating possibly there could be some issues. We also see on the far side additional members of the National Guard.
President Trump says he will not accept the Republican nomination in Charlotte. Now, this comes after concerns from Governor Roy Cooper about a big crowd at the convention in Charlotte and COVID-19. Right now, it is not clear if part or all of the convention might be moved. News 13's Rex Hodge has more on the debate.
According to a politics professor at Western Carolina University, there are a couple issues at play in having the RNC convention in Charlotte in August: politics and coronavirus.
What we have is a tweet from the President of the United States saying he wants to pull out.
Western political scientist Chris Cooper says President Trump wants a full house, 19,000, at the Republican convention. Democratic Governor Roy Cooper still guiding the state through COVID-19, with phased reopening still preventing large gatherings.
But I do think Trump is certainly trying to play politics here a little bit, and Roy Cooper, for his part, is kind of playing politics back at him.
Chris Cooper says there's lots of talk.
The RNC has been sending kind of mixed messages. They seem to be saying that there's a strong possibility that they will hold the business of the convention in Charlotte, but perhaps have Trump's speech elsewhere.
You'll find differing opinions on the street over holding a crowded convention this summer.
You're not only talking about a large group of people, you're talking about people from every single state. I think this is one year both parties should have a virtual convention.
Right now I'm with the governor, and I trust him with his decision on this matter. Lives matter, our lives matter, everybody's lives matter.
A business owner still waiting to open his gym.
And these big box stores have been open since day one, so I don't understand the argument that Roy Cooper has against Trump.
The leaders of the local political parties have positions along party lines.
It's time to open back up, and it's time to quit playing games, and it's time that unless we open back up, we're going to be on starvation instead of the virus getting us.
There is danger of this being viewed as, a partisan decision, but I truly don't think that is what is guiding Governor Cooper.
Caitlin, you guys were near the protesters when tear gas was deployed after multiple warnings to go home or be arrested?
Right, we were there when that happened near the federal building, but before we get to that moment, I do want to take you through the afternoon and early evening leading up to that moment. So we do have video of the crowds that were building from around 3 o'clock this afternoon right up until 8 o'clock when the city's curfew went into place. At 8 o'clock, people were gathered out here, out in front of Asheville Police, and at that point, people started to march probably around 8:15. They marched the same barriers that they did last night as well. They went down into Pritchard Park, down Patton Avenue, and then when we got to the federal building, that is when police, I believe, were at our rear. We were in the middle of the march at that point, and that is when tear gas was deployed. There were more than 100 people in the crowd of us. We went and hid behind one of the columns at that moment. The crowd dispersed, and then after that, when the crowd was gone, we left and headed over to the Civic Center, where we actually witnessed multiple arrests by Asheville Police. I would say probably around 15 people were taken into custody at that moment, probably around 20 Asheville police officers in that area. They were all taken peacefully, and now we're here where it is relatively quiet, but again, it has been another long day here in downtown Asheville, from peaceful protests that started in the afternoon and now here again where things are quiet again outside of Asheville Police.